there we go. So, welcome back, everyone. This is session 9.2. We're looking at AI as a learning coach and student co-creation. We are, let's see here, before 9.2 was a couple of weeks ago. We just went on break. So, just to kind of catch everyone up, we were doing, oh, hold on, just wait a moment. It's coming on. Hey, buddy. Yeah, so 9.1, we did the automated and enhanced feedback systems and how that kind of looks. And then this is another thing that we can do, um, shifting from designing AI tools for students to designing the AI experiences with the students. And we're going to make a classroom-ready activity that teaches critical AI collaboration skills. So augmenting, I've heard a lot about using AI to augment your skills. So how can we do that? What does that look like? We're going to look at what the research says about when AI builds student independence and when it does the opposite of that. We're going to look at three evidence-based models for teaching students to be critical AI collaborators, and we're going to design and test an AI literacy mini lesson that could be ready for you in your next class if you were doing that. Nice. What were you doing talking about AI with them today?
Yeah, they have to build a virtual machine for get it built by next week. And the question came up is you tell us how much memory and CPUs and resources to give the VM, but how do we know what we should give it if you're not around? And I said, well, let's go in to Chat GPT and ask it. And
Nice.
so yeah, and it was right. It was absolutely right. Its explanations were great. And then
Nice.
I yeah, so and they used it to set up their lab environment for next week. So it was pretty
Cool.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it was just a standard regular chat GPT or was it
Yep. It was just the regular chat G. I knew they could all get to it, and I knew it wasn't going to cost them anything. So I just used the regular chat GPT, had them use it. And then I had them pick, I have a list of different Linux distros, and they had to pick one. And then they, wrote it in. I let them prompt it and everything,
Oh,
and
cool.
then tell me what you got back. And then we looked at like a couple student stuff conflicted.
Okay.
Um, and then I said, why? Why did it conflict? Because somebody was more specific in their prompt than the other person was. You
Okay.
said we're building this as a server, but the other student didn't say that. They didn't use, it could have been a desktop for all it knew. It could have been an IoT device, like a doorbell cam.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was fun. It was fun to see the reactions and
Yeah,
to
that's cool.
use it.
That's a really powerful way for to use AI literacy is to I'm sure we've talked about it where you look at the outputs and you know together dissect the outputs and see what's good and what's not so good. So I'm happy to hear that that went well for you. All right, let's move down here to the listen. So we have a stat here from one of these reports
Are you sharing your
about,
screen, Ronald? I'm
am
sorry.
I not? Okay,
You're
thank you.
not. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Thought
see
I
a
was, but it
I
seems
see
like
water
it's
in the sun. In the
okay.
sun.
All right. Can you see it now? No? Wait a minute.
No, it's like you're sharing the wrong or a different desktop.
Oh, I'm sharing screen one. Oh, the
Yeah,
water and the
Zoom.
sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zoom did
What?
this to me. It updated and it changed the sharing. Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's
weird.
weird because I'm okay. That's right.
There you go. Yep.
It
Now we see
switched
it.
the screens for me. This is normally my screen one, and so I
Yep.
just brain defaulted to screen one.
It happened to me this week, and my students let me talk for 10 minutes before they told me.
Well, thank you for letting me talk for only a couple. I was just going over this top section here. But okay, now I'm moving down. Thank you. So here is the stat here from, like I was saying, one of these articles. I can't remember exactly which one it was from, but it says by 2025, so it's a little dated, 92% of undergraduate students report using AI tools, up from 66% just 1 year earlier. We know that students are already using it. Uh, the question is whether they're using it in ways that build their thinking or if they're using it to replace their thinking. Um, so we're going to focus on that distinction now. And wow, this is old AI. Now there's AI tells that when I see them, it's not by restricting it but by designing it intentionally. That's an AI tell right there. Um, so down here we have as per usual, we have a couple different options. I made this into a Google slide this time because I found out that Google Slides are embeddable and you can turn on the speaker notes and I've added some stuff here in the speaker notes. Oh, is this? Oh, this is starting the timer since I got on this page. That's interesting. I would
That's
think,
cool. That's
yeah,
really
once I
cool.
started interacting with it, but okay, it's there.
Wow.
Um, and then yeah, you can look at this one if you got the speaker notes. So we're still trying to figure out the best way to create things in Notebook LM that are accessible. And so that is one. I also have the slide notes down here for anybody who would like to use a screen reader or something. Uh, that's down there as well. We've got a video here that's 6 minutes and 42 seconds long, and then a 20-minute podcast. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe we'll just play the video. I'm gonna leave the main room open here for the video if you want to watch the video, and then we can talk about the video afterwards and talk about the slides afterwards as well. And so, um, let me go ahead and get this up and going so that everyone can hear. And then I'll open up the breakout rooms in case you want to dip out and not listen to this. Do that first. Which I'll choose. And then you don't need to join if you don't want to. Just make sure my sound is on. Can y'all?
So generative AI is everywhere
Did you hear that?
in education now.
Yeah,
and it's
we can hear it.
a future where
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to play this, and then after we get done, we can talk about it.
every single student gets their own personal tutor. But here's the big question. Is this new tech actually making us smarter, or is there a hidden cost we're not talking about? Let's get into it. Right, this is the heart of the matter, isn't it? AI can spit out an answer in seconds, which feels amazing. But are we trading real, deep learning for just quick, easy answers? Is all that convenience actually making us lazier thinkers? I mean, on one hand, you've got this unbelievably powerful tool in your pocket, right? It's offering feedback and support whenever you need it. But on the other hand, there's this very real worry that leaning on it too much could actually make us worse at thinking for ourselves. It's the classic double-edged sword. Okay, to really understand what's at stake here, we need to talk about a core skill. It's something that researchers say is the absolute foundation of effective learning. And it's not about what you learn, it's all about how you learn. And that skill is called self-regulated learning, or SRL for short. The best way to think about it is like being the CEO of your own education. It's all about your ability to step back, figure out what you need to do, make a plan, and then actually change that plan if it's not working. And this whole SRL thing isn't just one big blob of a skill. It actually breaks down into a really neat 3-step cycle. First, you've got forethought. That's all the planning and goal setting you do up front. Then comes performance, actually doing the work while also keeping an eye on how it's going. And finally, you have self-reflection, that crucial step where you look back and ask, okay, what worked, what didn't, and why? And this is why it matters so, so much. If we let AI do all the planning, all the checking, and all the reflecting for us, we never build those muscles ourselves. We stop being the active driver of our own learning, and instead, we just become a passive passenger, kind of along for the ride. So you might be thinking, okay, that's a nice theory, but is there any actual proof? Well, researchers were wondering the exact same thing, which led them to design a really cool experiment to put these AI tutors to the test. Let's see what they found. So, for a study in the British Journal of Educational Technology, a team took 68 college students and, for 4 whole weeks, they watched them like hawks to see how using GenAI really impacted these essential learning skills. Here's how they did it. They split the students into 2 groups. Now, both groups got to use AI to help with their assignments, but there was one tiny, crucial difference. The first group got these little things called metacognitive prompts, basically little nudges to get them to think about their plan and reflect on their work. The other group, they just used the AI, no extra guidance at all. Now, it sounds like such a small thing, right? Just a few questions, a little nudge to think. But as you're about to see, that simple little trick, well, it changed everything. Which leads us to the most obvious question, right? Did the students who got those little nudges to think more deeply, did they actually get better grades on their tests? And here's the twist that I honestly did not see coming. The answer is no. Their test scores were pretty much the same. So if it wasn't about grades, what was the real story? Well, this is where things get really, really interesting. Turns out, the students who got the prompts saw huge gains in the how of their learning. They got way better at planning how to tackle a problem. They improved their ability to judge their own work, and get this, they even said the work felt easier. That's what reduced cognitive load means. They were learning how to learn smarter, not just harder. And now for the flip side, which is maybe the most critical finding of the whole study. For the students who used AI without any of those reflective prompts, their self-regulation skills were at risk of actually getting worse. Think about that. Using AI blindly wasn't just neutral. It could actually be harmful to their ability to learn on their own. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The researchers themselves summed it up perfectly. It's not about the AI. It's about how we use it. Giving learners that metacognitive support, those little nudges to think, that is the absolute key to making sure AI helps, not hurts. Okay, so that's one study. A pretty compelling one for sure. But is it just a one-off? Does this idea hold up when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture? Well, it turns out it absolutely does. This wasn't a fluke. A massive meta-analysis came out that looked at not 1, not 2, but 32 separate studies on this topic, covering thousands of people. This was a huge effort to see what was really going on. And the results were just wow. The analysis found this huge positive effect. Okay, so you see this number on the screen, positive 1.613. To put that in perspective, in education research, an effect size over 0.8 is considered large. This is literally double that. It's a massive signal in the data that AI, when used right, gives a serious boost to our learning skills. So where does AI help the most? This chart lays it all out. You can see it gives us a really solid boost in the thinking and planning parts of learning. It gives us an even bigger boost when it comes to motivation, feeling confident and into our work. But then look at the third bar for behavior, stuff like time management. Yeah, the results were kind of all over the place. Turns out AI can't magically cure procrastination. Who knew? So the big takeaway from all this data is that AI works best as an adaptive scaffold. It's like a temporary support structure that helps you build your skills, especially in that crucial first forethought phase we talked about, the planning and getting started part. Okay, so let's tie this all together. What does all of this actually mean for you, for me, for anyone trying to learn in a world that's just getting filled with smarter and smarter AI? Here's my favorite way to think about it. Using AI is like using a GPS. If you just blindly follow the turn-by-turn voice, you'll get there, but you'll never actually learn the layout of the city. But if you sometimes look at the map, see the whole route, and understand why it's telling you to turn left, that's when you actually start to learn your way around. Those little prompts are like checking the map. And at the end of the day, that's the real goal. It's not about avoiding AI or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about learning to engage with it thoughtfully. We have to use it as a tool to think with, not a machine that does the thinking for us. So I guess I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. We know for a fact these AI tools are going to keep getting smarter and more powerful. The real challenge for us then is to figure out how we make sure that we do too. So generative AI is
Got it.
everywhere in education now.
Talking. Um, I wanted to get on that last part here. Okay, here's a question for you all. Feel free to answer if you think you have an idea. As the AI tools get smarter, how do we ensure that we do too? And how do we ensure that our students do too? Because I've heard that the AI that we're working with right now is going to be the worst version of it. It's only going to get better and, and smarter from here. So how do we also get smarter from here? Dean, do you have an idea?
Just trying to think about our students are really good at like regurgitating information, but we
Hmm.
the part I have a hard time is getting them to think about the processing, go through the process. So I think if we're using AI to teach them how to come to an answer to get a solution, as opposed to just giving them answers, that's the direction we need to go. So that critical thinking, I've always had a hard time with the students in the critical thinking aspect.
Hmm. So yeah, maybe finding a process for them where or like focusing on the process and
Yes, yeah,
seeing if
absolutely.
there's ways that you can like call out the critical thinking.
Yeah.
That's actually what we're going to be focusing the next in-service on in May
Oh,
is critical
fantastic.
thinking and how
Yeah,
we can assess that. So
yeah.
good stuff.
Cool.
Kelly, did you have any ideas or any thoughts on how do we ensure that we stay smart when the AI is going to come in and try to do all the work for us?
Um, I tell my students a lot that, with AI utilizing it for processes, procedures, step-by-step stuff, which is what in IT we use it for right now.
Hmm.
Um, or to validate something, come up with a process to resolve an issue and then use AI to see if it, as a test, so to speak, will
Mm,
this work? You know what I mean?
that's a
So it
great idea.
still it still makes the student, it still puts the student in the position where they have to resolve the issue, but they can use AI to double check and see if they're on course. And then they can even test to see if AI was right or wrong anyway, if once they implement it.
That's a good idea too. That's a
It's like hybrid,
the
you
full
know?
loop. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. Let's see here. I'm just going to kind of cycle through these and see if there's anything else that we need to talk about before we go into our explore. Uh, Here we're talking, here this slide is talking about the cognitive friction. Um, if everything becomes too easy, then people aren't going to learn because we learn in the struggle. Um, things get hard, but then we have to figure that out in order to um, learn how to do it. I was, I think it was. I was listening to a podcast a long, long time ago, and it was like this woman was talking about when she was a child, when they weren't cutting the paper right, they were kindergarten or something, and then the teacher came over and was like, "Oh, you need to cut it this way," and then they ended up cutting the whole thing out, and the woman reflected and thought like that doesn't really teach me how to cut paper, that teaches me that I'm doing it the wrong way and that you are the person that needs to do it. And so it's kind of similar with AI. If AI is just going to do all the work for you, then you're not going to learn how to do that work. And so it's differentiating what's good for the AI to do and what's good for the human to do. I think is the what people at least should be focusing on because
I
if the AI can do it, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I have some assignments that I give my students that are going to fail. I know it's gonna
Mm,
fail. I know it's not gonna work. And then I have them once it's identified and they freak out and they go, it didn't work. And I'm gonna, then I say, okay, how do we fix it? And it's kind of fun because they realize I've done this on purpose. I knew if they install this and this and this in this order, these three things in the wrong order, it's going to break.
mm,
So then they have to figure it out. So I'll tell them, what methods would you use to figure this out? And in the past, let's say the three pieces of software came from three different vendors, companies, they'd have to go hit those forums up and try to figure out. Now they can use AI to search for those errors, right?
mm.
And then I have them compare what they get.
Yeah.
You guys as a group, you guys test that what AIA said to do. You guys as a group go test AIB, and then let's bring them back together and see what worked. And it's fun because I've had students, hey, we got it, we won, we were first, we fixed it.
Yeah.
And then how long did it take you though? Well, a couple hours. And then I ask another group and they're like, yeah, we fixed it in 15 minutes. Let's take a look at what it recommended and then we compare.
Mhm.
And it's fun because they're using AI, they're learning,
Yeah.
but they're using it as a tool, and that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
And it's a tool. That's what
They're
I tell
using
them.
it in a specific way, like that
Correct.
would normally take, a long time to do and a bunch of steps and a lot of cognitive energy. Um, and like that just it doesn't sound like it's the necessary thing for them to do. Like
Correct.
them figuring it out, that's where they need to spend their focus, not like tracking down who to contact or all that
Right.
kind of. Yeah.
Right. What broke? Why did it break? What caused this issue? We need to figure that out. There, I do work at a data center as my other job, my second job in the evenings and on the weekends. And a big saying around there is don't trust AI completely.
Yeah.
You have to be able to think your way through these processes and or through these issues. AI is a tool. It
There you
may
go.
help, it may help you shorten the time span it's going to take to resolve an issue. Or it may help you identify pieces of it, but you have to know how to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I know exactly what you mean. I'm gonna move on here. So let's see here. We can think of AI as kind of two paths here. The path A, the answering machines, students outsource their thinking. AI provides instant answers that leads to passive consumption. And it bypasses the critical thought. Another way would be to think of it as a sparring partner, where they're co-creating things with the AI. AI provides iterative feedback and alternative perspectives, keeping the student in the driver's seat. So we saw that in the video with the cute graphic. Where was it? Was like a where did it go? Oh yeah, look at this. The little AI driving the book car. Um, so funny, some of these images. We talked
was that
about
Simon?
self-regulation. Yeah, there it is. Simon.
Simon's gonna get a speeding ticket.
I know, Simon, you gotta can't do all the work for the students. So the video talked about SRL, different from SEL. And then so self-regulation here, having a little forethought, setting the goals, planning the strategies before involving the AI. Then it's doing the work and monitoring progress, and then the reflection. So the reflection is an important piece. That's that metacognitive thinking about what you're doing in this course. We have the reflection journal every week. Um, this would be talking about the Uneven partnership. AI excels at helping students brainstorm. Uh, the AI is struggles in the performance because this is the messy middle of executing the task. So this is where we would really want the student to do the work. And then there's the self-reflection at the end, but usually you would want to do that yourself and not have an AI do that for you. Let me see if there's anything else important that the video might have missed. That scaffolding we talked about. Let's look at, I like this image here. So unscaffolded AI use, students accept the first generated answer as fact. They experience passive engagement, cognitive laziness. They're just the operators of the AI. Here, for the scaffolded AI use, they'll use it to verify information, which is what you were just talking about, Kelly. They engage in back and forth dialogue, constantly readjusting their prompts to develop deeper understanding. So they're the authors of their learning. Paradox, three conditions. Oh, hold on. I wanted to go over this for the integration. So if we're talking about integration, we want to pick a conversational AI and prioritize the dialogue over the automation, right? So we're going to make assignments that require students to use the tools with open-ended back and forth conversations. It's the goal here is the human AI interaction where the student must continually prompt, pushback, and refine rather than just generating and then using the final result. It's going to get even more difficult as agents become more common. And it's going to be like, oh, I can just say, do this for me, and then the agent's going to do the whole thing. So we have to keep the learning in there. The metacognitive friction, do not let students use AI in a vacuum. Demand visibility into their process. So this, once again, goes back to what Dean was saying about making sure the process is visible. AI prompt logs. That's another thing that in this course you want to post what you're saying with the AI and what the results are, and then the reflection at the end, as we talked about, and then eventually it's going to fade into autonomy. Heavy structural scaffolding is vital early in the semester, but it's only there just, to kind of set the ground rules. As they internalize the habit of using AI as a sparring partner, not an answering machine, they'll you don't need so much of the reflection logs. So it's going to be more, they should be doing that automatically. And it's less of something that they need to do, something that they need to submit. Hopefully they're still doing it, but you can start to take the training wheels off a little bit as they get better on the bike. Okay, and this is the last thing I want to end here, access. So framing AI as a collaborative partner in your syllabus and assignment prompts, explicitly outlining how it should be used to co-create rather than just search. And anytime y'all are thinking about adding something related to AI in your assignments, I recommend the syllabus tab here in our LibGuide to grab these ones. So caution, you can use generative AI, but you have to follow the instructions on how to do it. As for behavior, do not expect AI to fix your students' procrastination. That's not what it does. I mean, I'm kind of experimenting with, giving it a list of tasks that I need to do and then kind of checking in and having it, let me know what to prioritize. But it's not something that I use regularly, just because I don't think that I've prompted it right enough. But I mean, people are always going to find a way not to do work. And so having the AI is not going to be like a magical band-aid that makes your students want to do
And
work.
things change at times, right? Like the importance of an assignment or importance of a task may change like throughout the week, for example. which AI may not know that, but you know that as as the user. So you can't use it
Very
as
true.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the assistant that it needs to be, or that it probably will be in the future, but um it's still a work in progress. As for the last one here, assessment, shift your grading weight, grade the process of AI collaboration, the planning, the iterative prompting, and the verification, just as you would a generated project. And so I've seen a lot of stuff too, about taking less weight off of the final and then adding more into kind of that process as they're learning. Um, throughout the quarter or throughout the semester. So, all right. Like I said, there's some articles here. Let me just shout those ones out before we move on. This is a qualitative systematic review of AI self-regulated learning in higher education. So that was talking about the SRL. There's a paper about that. We've got artificial intelligence and learner autonomy, a meta-analysis of self-regulated and self-directed learning. So building on top of that, SRL with SDL. And then enhancing self-regulated learning and learning experiences in generative AI environments. So the research is there if you want to comb through that. But let's move on to the Explore. So we're going to make an AI literacy mini lesson here. We're going to make a complete classroom-ready activity that teaches your students to be critical AI collaborators while deepening their understanding of your course content. So we're going to choose a method. There's 3 choices down here. And there's 3 people in here. So I wonder if we can each choose one of these. But before we do that, before we get into chat or Claude or whatever you decide to use, uh, try to think about a course topic that your students consistently struggle with. And if they don't, good job. You're a great teacher. But I'm sure there's, some stuff out there that like maybe even talking about AI might be something that students are struggling with now. Your typical class format, and then the time that you would give to an activity like this. So maybe you can fit an hour in, maybe you can fit 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Our coaching methods, here are the different options. So the first one is the challenge method. Students start with a vague prompt about your course topic, analyze why AI response falls short, and then iteratively improve their prompting while learning the material. The frustration with weak AI output is the learning mechanism. It forces students to think more precisely about the concept. We also have the teaching method. Students explain a course concept to AI, receive AI questions that surface gaps in their understanding, and then refine their explanation through dialogue. So this is, if you've ever heard of the protege effect, where you are teaching something to somebody and you learn it that way. And so AI as the demanding student that doesn't let you off the hook if you don't, you know, give answers with detail. All right, and then there's the last one is the verification method. Students ask AI for information about a topic, fact check it against course materials, document where AI is accurate and where it is not, then create discipline-specific AI use guidelines. Oh, that's pretty good. This works especially well in fields where AI hallucination is a real professional risk. So healthcare, law, engineering, data sensitive disciplines. Um, if y'all were to try this with me, which option would you like to choose?
Um, what about verification method?
Okay, that's good. That kind of sounds similar to what you talking about
I was
earlier.
just gonna say I'm cheating though.
Yeah, it's okay. We're just exploring here, so
What about
Uh,
you, Dean? What do you think?
I like the teaching method one, just because sometimes the concepts they just don't understand, and
That's
so
cool. Yeah, that's true.
Find that gap. Where's the gap in what we teach and what they understand? And
Mm,
so,
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's going to surface what
mm,
they got, what they understand for sure.
yeah.
All right, so I'll go through the challenge method then here. And we got the prompt. I don't know if y'all are in here or not. I'll put this in the chat for you. Okay, so I'm gonna open up. Let's see. I always rag on Copilot, but I gotta use Copilot because it's in our institution. So
Uh,
I'm gonna show some love to Copilot if they don't make me jump through a bunch of hoops to sign in. We got the new screen, the login screen. That looks cool. No hoops. I hate
oh,
hoops. Hold on. It should come
Do you
quickly.
have the needle, the pinprick for the blood, and then the retinal
Is
scan?
it?
And yeah,
Yeah, my social, the last four of my social. Okay, no, I got this. All right, we're in. We'll do my work one. Secure and compliant. What? No,
that's great.
not the double.
Yeah,
Not like this.
oh, that's awesome.
Not the
My
double.
students get so frustrated about it, and I tell them, "You're in an IT security
Not the
program."
triple. What? No, I
Yeah.
can't. Okay, never mind.
death by two factor verification.
Death.
Oh, that was great.
Almost
Uh,
like six-factor authentication. What
Oh,
the heck, man?
Chat
All
GPT
right.
it is.
ChatGPT it is, just by default. All right, here we go. Let's pop this one in here and see what we need to change. So, all right, so this is a 15 minute. 15 minutes just doesn't seem like any time to do anything, but student activity using, I'm going to do the challenge method. The challenge method. Does it know what the challenge method is? We'll see. Course context, your subject and student level. Okay, let's see here. So I'm gonna do, I wonder if I should do, I don't want to do AI because that's kind of like cheating. I'll do this. Technology literacy. That's a little similar to adjacent, but this is a course that I teach. So technology literacy for ESL students. Uh, see, we don't usually have a concept that we're learning. We're learning how to do things. About the cloud. Ooh, OneDrive. We talked about OneDrive today. Um, learning objectives, students will use OneDrive to um, store, I'll say access their files. So let's see how that goes. Create a step-by-step student instruction, specific AI prompts for the students to try 3 reflection questions and a simple assessment criteria. Okay. Realities of my discipline is adult basic education. All right, let's see what chat comes up with here. See, I think I need to include this, the challenge method. So it doesn't really, I don't know if it understands the context of that, of what the challenge method is. So let's see what it comes up with. Challenge method structure. Challenge, try, improve, reflect. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I like that. All right. Students will use OneDrive to access their files. The real world challenge, you're in class or at work, you saved a file. Now you need to find it and open it on another, but you do not remember all the steps. Okay, yeah, this seems like it would be real. All right, 2 minutes. Today's challenge, open a file from OneDrive on this computer. You will work with a partner. You can use AI as a helper. Make sure they have OneDrive. Yep, we know that. We did that. And we did all this thing. So here's the challenge task. Open OneDrive or go to the OneDrive website, sign in, open the file. If you're stuck, ask AI for help. With your partner, decide. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So it says ask AI help using one of the prompts below. Oh, here are the prompts. So I'm an ESL student. Give me a simple step-by-step directions to open a file in OneDrive. Mhm. I'm trying to find a file in OneDrive, but I do not see it. What are the three possible reasons? Oh. Oh, and I like this, how it has the simple English. Explain these OneDrive words in easy English. Sign in, file, folder. Okay, these are the words that they would need to know. I'm on the OneDrive page. I see blank. What should I click next? Give me only 2 steps. Ooh. Okay. So this looks like for this specific activity, they are practicing using this is almost like prompt engineering, like figuring out, okay, I'm stuck at this stage, and then how can I use AI to help me move to the next stage? Um, or I don't understand this part, right? So I have ESL students that may not know some of these words, and so um, asking it for vocabulary help in easy English, I think would be pretty helpful for some of them. And then this is a partner activity. So let's go for collaboration. You're going to decide, did the AI help? Was the answer clear? Or what step did you still need to figure out by yourself? So a little bit of reflection there. And then by the end, you should be able to say how you got into OneDrive, how you found your file, and what problem you solved. This is important. Do not can't copy the AI answers blindly. Read it, try it, and check if it matches. And then there's a critical thinking mini task here. After using AI, students answer this with the partner. Which AI prompt was most useful and why? Well, that's good. And so they're kind of thinking about the prompts that they use. And then one more. What did you learn today about how to access files on OneDrive? What problem did you have and how did you solve it? How did AI help you? That's great. And then what's this? This is the assessment criteria. Oh, gives a little rubric at the end on how to do it. A little why it works, and then any sort of extra teacher notes. That's pretty good. I mean, not bad. Well, seems like something I would do in my class. It's definitely something that I could use, and I think it's helpful because it's introducing AI in this structured way. Um, Kelly, were you able to run this
Yep,
prompt, or
I
you,
just did.
what did it come up with?
So I had to do it for my Linux Essentials course, covering the some basic Linux commands. And it came up with 15-minute activity, don't trust it, verify it is using the verification method. And then it came through with what learning objectives, and then the activities students will ask AI for help, then test and verify whether commands actually work in a Linux environment. So VM, lab machine, or terminal. And they'll be using one of those machines. They have a virtual machine.
Hmm.
And then it says they'll open the bash shell, which is like the command prompt or PowerShell in Windows, and then says they'll use an AI tool, ChatGPT, Copilot, and they'll copy and paste one of the prompts below. And then it says your instructor may assign one. And this is the cool part. Give me Linux commands to list all files, including hidden files in long format, and explain what each column means. Or how
Mm.
do I create a directory, create a file inside it, and then display the file contents using Linux commands. And
This
then
is
the
this is the these are the prompts that you're reading?
yeah, I
Okay.
can, if I can share my screen if you want me to, if you're
Yeah, that
cool
would be
with that.
better
All right,
if
here, let
it's
me
available
let
for
me
them.
do that real quick. Hold on 1 second. And it's probably gonna make me ask you. Um,
I think it should automatically because I have it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You should see it now, right?
I see it. Yep.
Okay, so this is what I put in there.
Okay.
And I just basically copied and pasted it and told it to use the verification method up here at the top. And then this is what it built. It explains activity, the objectives, activity overview, and then what I like is further down it tells them what they're going to need, what they're going to be using the bash shell,
Mm-hmm.
the ask AI for commands, and then down here are some of the prompts to try. And
Okay.
this is what I was reading. Um, this is definitely like I just thought of one is user creation and group creation. So like in Linux, you can use user add or add user. They both work. One of them only creates the user account with the username and that's it. And the
Mm.
other one creates the user account with all the metadata. You set the password, you set the home directory, you give it, the user's like address or phone number, all that stuff. That's called metadata.
Yeah, yeah.
The students get it confused. So I was thinking, man, that'd be cool. I could add that to this and use something like this for them to learn the difference between those
Mm-hmm.
commands.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
What command shows my current directory and how do I move to another directory? Include examples. And then it gives
DIR.
them, yeah, yep. And then it gives them, uh, to verify, copy the commands provided by AI, run them, predict what will happen.
I like that. And I like that
Yep.
they bolded it.
And then run the commands in your terminal and compare it. That's it.
Yeah.
This is exactly in a way, this is what I've been doing and using AI for in my course already.
It's awesome. You're ahead of the
Yeah.
curve.
And
You're
then
ahead of the course for sure.
well, it's funny, it's more natural and truthfully the students have brought a lot of it to me. Because they feel I let them use AI as long as they tell me I'm cool with it. So they
Mm.
feel safe to come to me and say, "Well, AI told me to do this, but you told us to do that. Why?"
Oh,
And I'll
that's
go,
really good.
"Okay, yeah, let's compare notes. Let's figure this out." And that's to me that's fun in a way because then you can get a little bit deeper with it and they're not afraid to lose them points or anything like I tell them,
Yeah,
you
right.
know.
There's so much out there where it's like the students are scared to use it because they're worried that they're not sure what's happening for their learning. They're not sure what the instructor is going to say, or they're going to get in
Exactly.
trouble
And
for
they
using it. So,
right. And I don't want them to feel they're going to lose points because they used it. Be honest with me. Just tell me the truth of how you came to that. And if you
mhm.
came up with it, great. And if you used AI to come up with it, great. Or if AI did it solely AI did it, that's great too. Now let's compare it.
Yeah. Yes,
Um,
right.
so they
Definitely.
document their findings and they have a reflection. A reflection question. I like that too. What was one difference between what AI said would happen and what actually happened in the terminal?
It'll spin some yarn, man. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do, but when you get in there, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
This
yep,
isn't what you said was going to happen. So I run into
right.
that all the time.
And then we've got the assessment criteria.
Oh
Um,
yeah, there we go. Okay.
command failure, incomplete,
Simple
etc.
rubric.
Yep. And then
Completely.
their verification method, AI literacy skills. I think I'm pretty impressed so far, and I just what it took a few minutes to throw it together. I was doing it while you were doing yours.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it looks pretty similar too with what I had, just different
Mm-hmm.
topic and I like it. I think it's a good way to kind of dip your feet if you don't want to like dedicate a full lesson to AI literacy.
Mm-hmm.
We do have an AI literacy module that should be ready to go. I need to just kind of go in and talk with Pearl DeShore from the library about making sure that it's ready. But we are trying to have it ready by this quarter so that if people wanted to bring it into their course and if they wanted to talk about AI with their students, it's research backed, created by Jeff before he left and with Pearl and Deb. So um hopefully by next week we can have a little update on that because I think that would be a pretty good thing that can go along with this topic here, especially. So, okay, so that's great. Thank you, Kelly, for sharing that. I'm gonna pop back on here and go down here. So walk through your mini lesson yourself. And so now this is our reflection on what the AI just gave us. Um, Try the AI interactions as a student would. So imagine if I'm going through and I'll go through, try to set up OneDrive and then maybe pop in these prompts here to help out to see if the activity works as designed. Are the student instructions genuinely clear or do they assume knowledge that students may not have? This is a big one. Actually, I'm gonna I'm gonna actually pop this one back in here and have it kind of check itself to see if the curse of knowledge is real. If I know what it is, AI knows what it is, maybe the student doesn't know what it is. I thought it was pretty good, especially what was that one prompt where it was saying explain these words in English. Let's see what the response is. They are mostly understandable for an instructor, but not fully clear for students, especially ABL, ESL. Um, they assume they know what OneDrive is. Well, I would teach them what that is. Sign in, I use like every day because they have to sign into their computers. Open OneDrive, sign in with your school. Yeah. If you get stuck, ask AI for help. This one definitely I would be like, go to chat or go to Copilot. Here it's saying that the instructions need more scaffolding. I think it's maybe a little, since I gave it that question, it maybe thinks, oh, there is something that I need to change. Um, Here's the student instructions. Let's get to step by step.
I
I
would
don't
love to
even,
have something like that for like I get brand new students in so I teach third, fourth, and fifth quarter of the associate's degree.
yeah.
And but I get brand new students right in the middle of the associate's degree that are taking bridge classes for the bachelor's
Mm-hmm.
who like I had a guy this quarter. He's like, look, my background's in psychology. I'm getting into a new career field. I have no idea what you're talking about, you know? And it's just like getting into a student email, getting into Canvas,
Oh, right.
accessing the class share, like all of the stuff that the basic stuff that
That you were
everybody
talking
else
about
knows.
earlier.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, gosh, I feel so silly because all these other students know exactly what you're saying. And I
Yeah.
said, I tell them they have 6 months on you or 9 months on you that you you don't have, but that doesn't mean anything. I would love to use something like this to come up with a list of those processes,
Yeah. That'd
to
be
give
good.
to them.
That'd be
Exactly.
awesome.
I think I might do that. Cool.
Yeah, that would be great. Let me know how that goes if you end up doing it. We have a couple more things here that I want to run through before we are done here. So does this activity require students to think? It's good. Is the timing realistic for your class format? I would probably bump mine up since it's lower level, maybe up to 20 or 25 minutes. Okay. Here's our key insight to take forward. Effective AI literacy instruction teaches students to be critical partners with the AI rather than the passive consumers. When teaching students question, verify, and improve their AI interactions, they are simultaneously deepening their understanding of your course content, right? And so that is the design goal. It's not just AI, in a vacuum, which has its place. Um, in college success, I would say. Uh, but in your class, you would want to know, okay, how can I use AI specifically for, in this industry, in this type of position, which Kelly, it sounds like you've got that under control. Um, and so our checklist here for our session, we designed our little mini lesson. I don't know if we really tested it. We kind of tested it in our minds. Um, I would have to go and verify those prompts and try them myself. And then we're going to use this kind of as a basis. So I might say, give me the assignment to give to my students. And so use that one for the next part here. In the next part, this one is it's just going to kind of build on that. So perfect my student AI literacy activity for classroom use. And so I would take this, all of this, and paste it in to where it says here. And then class format, you probably have to add that again if you're starting in a new topic. And actually, if you have this saved, you might be able to just copy this part. Doesn't need the context, right? Because it knows the context. And so we'll pop that one in there. And then you would take that, add it into a document, save that as your assignment for the apply. Obviously, look at the reflex, and actually you can post it down here in this discussion so that other people can see what you're working on. But that is about all that we have time for today for session 9.2. Any questions before we end our time?
When does this course end? We've got a little time left, right?
Great question. So let's see. We've got 10. So this was 9. So this is on the 10th will be 10.1, 10.2, 11.1, 11.2, 12.1. I might have to couple 12.1 and 12.2 together. It's a portfolio thing. So it'll be done on May 8th.
Man.
Okay.
And then are you going to have any
Oh.
other classes available that you're going to teach for like professional development?
We are currently working on something for the fall.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's but for this year, this will be the end of what we're doing for professional
And
development.
all the assignments, do they need to be done by that date? Or is it
I
when we
mean,
can
you would just think about, look at your professional development hours and then, see how much you would need to do, if you're trying to go for the 20, I think you're done with the 20. But if you're trying to go for like the 96, then
I'm
look
trying
at
to
the
go for all
hours
of
that
it.
you have you're trying to do what?
I'm trying to go for all of it. You got me hooked
Yeah.
now, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kristen
Well, I
sent
mean,
an
this one,
email
if you
today.
finish this whole one, it's 45, 48. So you're halfway
See?
to 96.
Well, I want 48. That's what I'm shooting
And
for.
y'all have been here most of the time, so.
I know. I just haven't submitted everything. I'm working on it. I have some of it done. I just didn't upload it. So I got to go
Mhm.
back and do.
Well,
That's
you
why
have a
you
lot of
see
fun.
me uploading in bursts, you
No,
know?
I do. I see them sometimes, and I check them. I verify them. It's all
Right
good
on.
work. So
Right on.
Kristen sent out an email today that the step increases you have to be done by the 15th, May
that's
15th.
right.
Yeah.
The 96 got to be in by
Yeah.
the 15th. So
That's it, yeah.
the 20, I
Craziness.
think, like I said, y'all should be good on the 20. The 20 is till
Yeah.
the end of June. But
Cool.
all
All
right.
right. Thanks, on. That was
All
just
right.
Yeah,
fun.
thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Have a
All
great
right.
weekend.
Okay.
Take care.
See you guys. Bye bye.